Hey guys, it's John Kalam from Kohol Garage handheld video camera today, and we're just gonna show you what's happening now with our Daihatsu Charade with the Honda engine swap. The thing is, sad to say, we broke the car. More specifically, we broke one of the axles, or more specifically, we broke the inner CV joint of one of the axles of this car. I'll discuss what exactly broke, how it broke, and I was supposed to just do a video on what we have done to the braking system of this car, but we're also going to add things about the front axles that was done by the previous owner who actually did the swap over on this car. So okay, let me show you guys around. So anyway, this is the finished side, or the fully assembled side. We've been running this. I've been running this rotor setup, this braking setup already for the past 2-3 weeks, and I've been pretty satisfied with the performance. We've upgraded the brakes basically, so we are already able to use Toyota Vios Batman brakes on the front of this car. So this is a 255mm rotor setup, vented rotor, and also the caliper and brake pads OEM spec, 100% OEM spec for a Vios Batman. To say that it bolts onto the Charade, it does not bolt on. There's very sizable modification, which I guess the advantage is that since the other side is disassembled, we are able to show you exactly what we have had done in order to fit the brakes of the Vios into this G100 Charade. This is the left side of the car, so you can see the spindle is out because we had to remove the axle. This is the Daihatsu spindle over here. Okay, I had purchased a surplus spindle set left and right for the Charade. The major modification done is to weld in these new brackets onto the spindle in order for the calipers of the Vios to bolt in here. So they did an excellent job. Our machinist did a good job here. Properly mount the calipers onto the spindle. Okay, very thick metal used and welded into the stock Daihatsu spindle. Caliper over here. So this is the Vios caliper over here, and this is the Vios rotor. In order for the rotor to fit the spindle and the hub of the Charade, the only modification we did was to enlarge the center bore of the rotor in order for it to fit onto the hubs, and otherwise it's basically a stock rotor for a Batman. The offset of the Vios Batman rotor is actually the same as stock. It aligns pretty well, and we have good fitment with the wheels that we're currently using. For reference, this is a representation of the stock rotor. See, you could see it's a solid setup, 235mm diameter, no venting, very thin. The rotor on the right is smaller because the rotor on the right is 235mm and the new ones are 255. So these are 20mm bigger and are actually vented. So benefit of upgrading the rotor for us is that we don't want to experience any brake fading, so we kind of need more material in order to resist brake fading, and so we were able to do that with this conversion. As far as compatibility with the existing hydraulic setup, the piston diameter of this caliper over here is only 1mm bigger, so brake pedal feel is similar, if not the same as stock. I thought by upgrading the calipers, I will have very spongy brakes, but the brake pedal is not as spongy, or it's still as spongy as before, so basically stock feeling. So I think I'll be able to properly modulate the brakes. I've used these brakes already, and I'm very happy with the braking performance, and at least if I take this car to a mountain road, there's a less chance for me to lose braking power due to brake fade. And obviously, the engine is practically double the horsepower as the standard 1-liter 3-cylinder, having brakes that actually these brakes honestly are from a 1.3-liter version of the Vios Batman. So these are actually the smaller brakes, not the bigger 275 mm rotors. Ana, gusto mo ma-vlog? Gusto mo ma-vlog? Ayan, ayun. Hindi kita aso eh, pero cute mo. Okay, so we would have similar braking performance to a Vios Batman, with the difference that this car is probably 200 to 300 kilos lighter than Vios Batman, I'm guessing. Okay, so that's about it for the brakes. Alright, so this is me in front of the editing computer. I'm just gonna dictate what we are experiencing with the axles. So our axles broke, or quite specifically, the driver's side inner CV joint failed. Kinda jerked the clutch inadvertently during a parking maneuver. I wasn't even racing or anything. I just broke it driving normally. And I was left stranded on a public road, but thankfully some people helped out. We were able to park the car safely on the side of the road, and we were able to recover the car using our own trailer. So we did a post-mortem a few days after it came back. That's why we were able to disassemble the left corner of the car in order to pull out the axle, and we discovered that the inner CV joint is busted. And I thought that it's usually the outer CV joint that is the most heavily loaded when you do some crazy or stupid things in a front-wheel drive car. It's usually, and especially when you have the wheel on full lock, on either side, it's really the outer CV joints that have the pressure, but I was really surprised that the inner CV joints failed. So we had the axle out. My suspicion was, something to do with the conversion, and I was proven to be right. So let me explain what was done to the car by the previous owner, and how did they or their mechanics or themselves were able to fit a Honda engine into G100 Charade. So obviously they did the engine supports and all that, but the critical thing when you do these type of engine swaps, conversions, is the axles. So with Project Wagon diesel conversion that we're doing, we tried to really align the engine in such a way to utilize the stock Elantra axles, so that we don't have to do any modification at all to the axles. But there are two factors that are, for me, not really a fail, but I discovered the limitation to the car. The first limitation is that what they did was to utilize basically about 90% of the stock Charade axle. So these are kind of tiny things, good for 50 horsepower, and I think they're good for 100 horsepower as well. But as compared to Honda Civic stuff, they're kind of tiny. I'm not too sure how much torque they could really handle, no? They did two modifications. Number one, retrofit the stub axles of the inner CV joint from a Civic. They cut the inner cup of the axles, and welded them to the inner cup of the Charade axle. So basically, the inner CV joint and the outer CV joint of the Charade are still the Charade items, which is, I guess, good in a sense. As far as looking for parts is concerned, we don't have to worry about looking for Civic items and pairing it with Charade items. So we just have to use Charade items. The issue is that the Charade items are only good for like 50 horsepower. The CV joint is small. The tri-joint bearings are very tiny. The car used to have a 50 horsepower engine. And again, with the 50 horsepower axles, to put in 150 horsepower through 50 horsepower axles is not something that I'm very comfortable with. And the second thing, of course, is the lengths are wrong. How the Honda engine is positioned and how the Charade track width is, there's a lot of cut and pasting. So the axles are actually a cut and paste affair by a competent machine shop. They did a good job on welding it. However, again, to really load up much power and to pair it with sticky tires, this is really the Achilles heel of our car. So we cannot put a lot of power, and we're planning to put an LSD in the future into the transmission, and that will really give a lot of drive line stress, because with the open differential, if you have too much torque, it will spin the inside wheel because it's likely loaded, no? So the excess torque will be relieved in the wheel with the least traction. But with an LSD, you actually gain traction on acceleration, no? So it will really force the axles to experience a lot more torque. So we really expect to break axles with this car, even though maybe it will only have 100 horsepower. I think the direction of the car is that it's gonna be a stock engine car only. We're not gonna upgrade the engine anymore. We're just gonna keep it 1.5. But we'll probably put an LSD in it, God willing. And so the axles that are currently fitted, basically, if we just wanted to install it back, thankfully I was able to acquire beforehand an extra set of axles, no, for the Charade. So I had a spare inner CV joint bearings, no. But I wanted to investigate the inner cup modification that they did, and sad to say, the inner cups are not perfectly concentric. They're not perfectly aligned. So I'm having it redone so that it would be perfectly concentric to the car, so that there is minimal load to the bearings of the tri-joint inner CV joint. Right now, I'm still waiting on the axles. I'm going to actually, after I edit this video, I'm actually gonna step out and take a look at them and figure out the status. But I'm not gonna do a video on it. Or I'm not gonna put any footage on it. Basically, the constraint of the Charade, I don't want to dream of putting a lot more power into the car, because I don't want, especially if and when I'm able to participate in motorsports again with the car, I don't want to be stuck in Pampanga, Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Batangas, wherever the races are gonna be for the grassroots motorsport that we want to join. And we don't want to be stuck because of axle issues. Not only I'm having the inner cup repaired, I'm also having extra axles made, one at a time. So I'm having the longer driver side axle made, and then once I have more funds, I'm gonna have the passenger side remade also, so that I would have a spare set of axles in case we go for an expedition, we go racing at far-flung places. We will not be limited with the axles that would be fragile and constantly breaking on us. So at least when we break an axle, we'll have spares. So that's the goal. Yeah, so that's the update on the Charade, and we're gonna get it buttoned up. I kind of need a spare car, so that's why I'm hoping to push the completion of the Charade and the completion of our wagon project, so that we have at least 2 other spare cars, so that our mobility is not impacted at any point in time. These are old cars, so it's cheaper to have a lot of old cars that you rotate than to have one brand new car nowadays. Be sustainable by recycling or continuing to use these old cars for our mobility needs. And it's definitely not an excuse that I don't have any money right now. Anyway, that's it for this video update. I hope to see you guys on the next video. Ciao.